What up, everybody? You're now tuned into Candid Conversations. I'm your host, Brandon Lampley, back today with another live stream.
I take
And
five.
man, you
You
guys
stay in
see
your
the
car
topic.
because we're.
I know we got sound. Well, you guys see the title. Black men have little to no standard. And once again, I got my co-host Sean Taylor with me. And man, we got to get into this thing because this is something that I have been thinking about for a while. And and it's just something that's, if you just walk outside, it's very obvious, just in day to day, you could see the lack of standard that black men have in their personal life, their professional life. And when I say no standards, that doesn't mean, you just accept any old thing, which some do fall into that category, but demanding excellence in all facets of your life. Being a black boy growing up, I didn't see many black men that demanded excellence in every facet of their life. I watched them bend the knee. I watched them sing "Ooh, baby, baby, please" in the rain, opening and closing their hand like R&B singers. That's what I watched. I watched them kowtow. I watched them acquiesce. I watched them put others before themselves to the detriment of themselves. Is what I saw. What do you think about that, Sean?
Um, Again, I'm gonna segue into, I can't speak on something that I have not been through, so I've been through that, and you know, not as far as having low standards, but um, not speaking up for what um, I was going to tolerate and not tolerate, you know. So,
Mm-hmm.
but the men who do speak up, I was listening to the dude. They actually had, I want to say they had that brother on CNN. I can't think of this dude, but reason why I like this dude, man, is that he is. It is so funny, you know. Me and my mother used to have conversation all the time. My mother used to get really frustrated in how uh, the man role has been belittled throughout the years, and this is well before she passed away. We used to have these conversations, and she referenced to a Martin Luther King reference. Never allow somebody to make you feel as if you less than nobody. So my thing about it is that when my mom she said, I'm telling you this for a reason. Never let nobody make you feel that you're less than nobody.
Yeah.
And the world is have and we can't even argue, refute, or rebuttal this painfully obvious right in front of our face, hitting us in the jaw with a Mike Tyson uppercut is letting us know that the world has actually shown that you if you have a penis, you're at the bottom of the list, and everybody else is way up at the top. You're not worthy. You're not worth nothing. Whatever, whatever, whatever. You only as good as your bank account. That's the message that the world is actually have given men, and the men that are speaking up, the men that are having their platforms and forums and letting men know that you need to up your standard, or you need to get back in the gym, or you need to get on your purpose. And it's a brother, man. He's a bald headed guy. I don't know what nationality he is, man. I want to look this dude up, but I can't because I got I'm on the phone
Yeah.
and everything, so I can't look him up. But they are trying to silence him. But not only him, but
Oh,
they're
Andrew
trying to
Tate. You
Andrew
talking about
Tate.
Andrew Tate? I know
Andrew
you're talking
Tate.
about.
They're trying to silence that brother, man, because that brother is speaking real facts, and it is so funny. Everybody can be catered to, or their needs and their concerns. I mean, it has to be at a um, high urgency level of concern. But when it comes to men speaking up about what men are going through, men speaking up about what they're not going to put up with, men speaking up
Yeah.
about how they want this is the standard to be with me. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? I heard a black woman. You're getting the women of high intellect are really speaking up. The women who are open minded are speaking up. The women who aren't married and loyal to their feelings are speaking up and letting you know a real man is not going to deal with your attitude. A real man is not going to deal with it's all about you. A real man is not going to deal with that you're just a prize. A real man is not going to deal with you just need to be catered to. Um,
Yeah.
Everybody got through problems and everybody's going through something. Just like women are going through things, men go through things. But when men speak up about, you know, the things of men, it's always some type of attitude. He almost has to forget about what he's going through for the other person because she is a woman. And my thing about it is that when he is truly going through things, he gets, how can I say, he gets kind of it gets kind of like a light gloss over, but there's no real sense of concern. It's
None.
glossed. You get like the way my mom would break it down is like this is the concern of how men this is the concern that men get. They get like a glaze
Hmm.
to pacify them for the moment, and then tomorrow is back to the nonsense, or he get a week of glaze and then next week is back to the old status quo. So it's and men who are speaking up, now you want to silence these men who are speaking up, because it's like, listen, man, we not tolerating this. But every time a man speak up, it's either falling on deaf ears, or we need to silence them in some type of way.
Yeah.
So what you're saying, brother, it's factual. And if you are a man and you are living and breathing August 30th, 2022, for you to sit back and not say nothing, or to see it and be okay and be complicit with it, what does that say? What type of man are you? You,
Yeah.
you see what I'm saying? I mean,
Absolutely.
it's okay, man, to stand up for women and things of that nature, but who is standing up for us?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
And that's where the lack of standards of black men have come in, because anytime you even make a peep about any standard you have, or any desire that you have, or anything that you want that goes against the gynocentric order, I will say, it's shouted down. You're shamed for preferences. Right now, there's a movement of passport bros. Guys getting their passport and they're going overseas to, build families, find women and or whatnot, or go on a date to have fun, but they don't want to deal with the women here anymore. Now, is that all the men? No, it's a small percentage of guys, but just those guys are getting shamed. They're saying, "Oh, you can't handle that." What it is you dusty. You ain't got no game. It's men and women shaming it, because this is not just a woman thing. When men do this to other men too, especially black men.
Oh yeah.
That's what we do. We do this to each other too. You got black men telling other black men, well, if you going overseas to go get another woman and you don't want to deal with the unruly woman here, then you ain't got no game. You dusty, you broke, you this, you that, you ugly, you ashy, whatever. And it amazes me. It amazes me. Our biggest downfall is the infighting inside. It's not you would think it is okay, well, the women doing this. No, it's men. Men are tearing each other down. We're tearing each other down from the inside, especially when it comes to our standard. That's why we have none. And this is the thing too. You got the guys who, you want a submissive woman, you want all these things, you want that life, you see an Andrew Tate and you saw what he represent. That's why so many young boys gravitated towards Andrew Tate, because of what he represented. He was an athlete, he built himself to the best version of himself, he's been there, done that, and he's shown the proof that, hey, I've done what I needed to do and I've achieved a level of success. It's very evident the level of success he achieved. But you got guys, of course, competition is becoming rare now. Nobody wants to compete. You don't want to compete. If you want to have a standard for your life, guess what? You're going to have to compete, because nobody's coming to the house, knocking on the door, and handing you whatever it is that you want. You are going to have to compete.
Yeah, I mean, that's true, man. That's true. Um, yeah, what Andrew Tate and other men are doing to build themselves up, man. You just, I mean, they're focusing on their purpose, man, and you have to have things in certain severity or priorities, man. So, and that's the thing. And sometimes you get, yeah, I've lost sight of things, man, and things of that nature, but Once you get back on your purpose, man, and you get back focused, man, that's where your focus should lie. If you focus on the things that's going to build you up as a man, everything else will fall into place. You don't even have to chase. You won't even have to ask. You just have to be
Yeah.
pretty much show up. And that's just how it is. And then when you are in a certain level in life, there are certain things you don't have to tolerate, and you really aren't losing anything. You're losing something that's probably going to be a headache at the end of the day. You losing something that pretty is not even loyal to you at the end of the day. It's only loyal to based off the circumstance of what it can get out of you. So, and you have to understand what do you want as a man? What do
Yeah.
you want? And if you don't have a certain type of standard as a man, then that means you're going to accept any and everything that's just got a pulse. I made a post, and I said in it, some people probably took it the wrong way or whatever. Well, people take me the wrong way anyway because what I say, it can come off aggressive or harsh or whatever. But I'm not trying to do nothing malicious or to try to hurt anybody's feelings. I'm just pretty much speaking the truth. But I made a post, contrary to popular belief, not all men are dusty ass dudes that'll smash
Yeah.
anything with a damn post. Some of us have perpetually, some of us men, who are insecure and they have no confidence within themselves, those men have perpetually lower ass standards. So my thing is, I just put it out there. So please, before you take your shot, before you shoot your shot, look at yourself for a second. Look at
Yeah.
yourself for a second. And I mean, truly examine your whole outside and inside picture, ma'am. Exactly. You wouldn't either if you were me. Make it make sense. You see what I'm saying? So my thing about it is just because you got a post don't mean that you can get anything. And that's on both ends. But a lot of people want you to dummy down your standards. I'm not. Why should I do that? What why should I do that?
Yeah.
It's like Rick Ross said in the rap. You went there balling with me in the gym. So why should I even lower my standards for you? Why should I even deal with that? Why should I even put up with that? So, even and I tell dudes, man, even when you fall on your hard times, man, and things may happen to you, man, and you may lose that person because of what you can't do it. Build yourself up so much next time, period, and know what it is, man. The life, this world that we're living in right now, it's almost like, and I just call it the way I see it, bro. I mean, it's a life. If you look at it, if you really, really look at this life that we're living in, man. I mean, seriously, honestly, you know, wholeheartedly, if you are looking at this life, people, you can't. I t- Gwen told me at first. Man, it's gonna be a time in your life you ain't gonna be able to get comfortable with people, man, because they change like the seasons.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Feelings.
why does change happen? Change happens based off of how people feel.
Yeah.
They lead with their feelings. They don't lead with logic, and they don't lead with common sense. Once that feeling is gone, once the thrill is gone, that's their feelings out the window. Now you out there trying to get to know somebody else, trying to get to know their family, trying to get to understand their past, trying to get to understand their quirks, trying to get to understand their mindset, trying to understand their healing, trying to understand their trauma, their hurts, their pains. It's a vicious cycle, man. Why? Because the reason why it's such a vicious cycle and people just hijacking from person to person to person to person, because every person they with, it's feeling based. There is no foundation. It's
Yeah.
all based off feelings. It's not based off nothing. Stop lying talking about you want to hustle. Stop lying saying you want to build something. You don't want that. You want ready-made this and you want ready-made that, and you want to capitalize off of somebody else's hard work, hard labor, education, the time they put in, and you want a you want to just piggyback off that person and just pretty much mooch. And so my thing about it is that when you have that type of demeanor, you have that type of behavior, the guy that already sees it, he's not going to even entertain that. And then when he peeps that game, he gonna be out anyway.
Yeah.
You only gonna be able to do that to guys that's got like 20 girls in their stable, and he's got everything. You thinking you number one, and you number 10 or 12, and you not even the one that he treats like number one. You can't even hold her bra strap if she handed it to you. So my whole thing about it is that a lot of people play themselves, and sometimes, man, you gotta let people just play themselves. Let
Yeah.
them just being out there, because the narcissistic woman, and that rate is going higher and higher and higher and higher. She uses her body and her looks to get what she wants. But as she continues to get older and older and older, the upkeep's going to become harder, harder, and harder and harder. And then,
Mm-hmm.
if she don't have enough will and drive with the mental aptitude to keep that body up, she's gonna let herself slide, and then she's just gonna pretty much just go ahead and just give up. But the narcissistic woman always leads from the way she looks. She is obsessed with the way she looks. She's obsessed with her body and all these type of things, because that's all she can bring to the table is her looks. She
Yeah.
has nothing else of substance whatsoever. She has no intellect of substance. She has no conversation of substance. She has no. Uh, she doesn't have the proper mindset of substance. So all she has to bring to the table is her looks. But contrary to popular belief, there's somebody out there probably look 100 times better than you. And the dude that's got this and that and that and this, he gon' he gonna put her in the top three spot, and you're going to end up being in 10 and 11 spot. And I try to tell women this. And I'm coming from a good place. I'm telling you, you can't tell me nothing about a man. I'm letting you know how men move and how they think. Men who got everything, their attitude is going to be
Yeah.
as such. So
Yeah.
either you're going to um, get out of your world of fantasy and realize there's a high possibility that I'm just a number to this dude. Do you honestly think a man who has every single thing and it is kind of out of your league, do you honestly think that you're the only one? Honestly.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean,
I
if
say
we're
that all
gonna
the
if
time.
if we're gonna be real, a man that's got everything, do you honestly believe that you're the only woman? Honestly. He's
Yeah.
got the looks, he's got the money, he's got everything. Do you want it? He's got the business, he's got everything. Being with you is not even a loss or gain to him. So, do you honestly think that you are the only woman? A lot of women ain't even asking themselves that question because they're afraid of that answer.
Yeah. Well, I,
But
I want to take it back to what you said about feelings and changing.
mhm,
How these people are moving based off of feelings. So what they're trying to get boys to do, and what now men have done, is they want you. They always talk about emotional intelligence and getting to your
right,
feelings and wanting to be a part of feelings and all of that. Well, when men operate in feelings, you in one of your weakest states, because that's not emotions. That's not what a man should operate out of. You should
right,
operate from a place of logic. So when you operate out of feelings, you can easily be thrown off of what your standard is or what it should be, because now they'll tell you that, well, you can't require this. That's misogynist. This is bad. You can't judge a woman for this, because that's how they feel. So they want you to feel the same way. That's why they want you to be in your emotions, and they were talking about emotional intelligence, because they want you to feel the same way so they can manipulate your feelings. And now that they've manipulated your feelings, now your standards that you have for yourself, now you lowered your standard because of how you feel. You
right,
can't operate on that type of playing field, gentlemen. You just can't do it. And so now we got to the point where now the boys, if you just walk around in your everyday life, walk around, go out somewhere where a lot of people, the boys are starting to look more like women, and the women are starting to look more like men. You got women, their gait and the way they walk is more masculine than some of the boys. They got these ridiculous color hair with these skinny jeans on, walking on their tippy toes. Girls, they got baggy clothes on, walking shoulders broad and walking like they little dudes now. And I'm like, Dude, we've asked backwards now. It's absolutely amazing. So now, but now because this is all if you're a conspiracy theorist, this is all a plan. This is all going according to plan. Because what it is you want to remove the masculinity. Masculinity has standards. That's just what it is. Masculinity have standards. They want to get to beat all the masculinity out of you. That's what they want you to do because they don't want you to rise up and say anything. That's why they cancel a guy like Andrew Tate. They don't want Andrew Tate out there because now the boys were starting to fight back. The boys were starting to talk back. Now we starting to understand I'm not just going to be another cog in the big machine and you tell me what you want me to do. No, I can live life on my terms. And as far as in the black community, it's a matriarchy. That's what it is. So because of that, now the boys have not seen men. So now men set the standard, but you have no men. Most guys growing up, you ain't seen high no hair of no man. The most men you see is maybe the pastor, maybe a coach, maybe a teacher or two you had or something like that. Maybe
Mm,
one or two men in your family, but for the most part, you just saw males.
pretty much, pretty much, man. So the thing about it is that you know, man has um, society. Let me go and say society. Society has tried to or is converting men to become to go from masculine to be 100% soft. Um, as a man, I can be compromising to a certain extent. As a man, I can show my gentle, sensitive side, because you can be masculine and also have balance. But your
Yeah,
masculinity has to be at a supreme high because of two protection of your woman, your family. Of two, if you have to get in that mode to where you have to twist somebody's jaw, you have to have a certain sense of masculinity about you as a man, just to be a protector. You can't say I want a man's supposed to protect and provide, but you want him to be softer than store bought cotton, but
yeah,
then you want him to protect you at the same time. He's either going to be one or the other.
yeah,
So my hat goes off to the women who loves the true alpha male of masculinity because I'm not. When people say he's too aggressive or whatever, that's a man.
yeah,
That's a man. That's how God made him. If you want somebody to be soft, get you a woman, or maybe guess get you a stud, or I don't know what they balance is or whatever.
yeah.
Studs be looking at dudes like they
Hey,
protect their woman and
men are
all that
also
other stuff.
disagreeable.
Eh, yeah, a real
They're
man
going
is
to
not going
question
to.
everything.
They're
Yeah,
not going to agree with everything that you say 100%, and he's going to check you when that time is warranted.
yeah,
He's not a person who a man of masculinity isn't passive. You know what I'm saying? A man of masculinity is not just going to let you just walk over him, disrespect him in the public, talk to him any kind of way, put your hands on him, curse him out, and all these different things, and treat him however you want to be treated. Now he's gonna be like, no, you need to go on back to them dudes that you're accustomed to what you can just do and say whatever you want to, put your hands on and curse him out and all this other stuff, or whatever, play victim, and he plays Captain Save-A-Ho and believes all your lies and all that manipulation and type stuff because he's weak. A man who is of strength, he is going to question things. He's going to want to have some answers. He's not going to fall for that, that old okey doke that you keep, giving him, that you've given every other male that you've actually come across. He's not the one that's just going to be stupid. There's things that he's going to accept and there's things that he's not going to accept. Just the same way as you, woman. You got things that you're going to accept and things that you're not going to accept. I mean, it works both ways. It's just not a one-sided type of deal. And men, they men are forgetting how men have forgotten how to be men, and
yeah,
men are just they're just throwing their hands down and just letting women do whatever they want to do. Listen, we can come and meet in the middle, man, and we can be respectful. But at the end of the day, I'm not gonna tolerate you disrespecting me in no type of way. You want to gaslight me, then like do your thing. You know what I'm saying? You can have whatever it is that's out there, little baby. It is what it is. I'm like, every time I look in the mirror, I still see this fine ass dude. So I'm like, ain't nothing changed in my body. I'm at the gym 5, 6 days a week. I'm doing the things I need to be doing. So it's like, hey, you do you, I do me. And there's no harm, no foul. I ain't got nothing bad. I wish you the best. I wish you the best, but I already know what you're gonna run up into. You're gonna be a number. You are going to be a number. The only way you're not gonna be a number is unless you get an ugly dude that looks like a roach, ain't never had nothing that looks better than you. He gonna be right there. He gonna be right there. He ain't going nowhere. He ain't looking left, right, in front, and back. You got you an ugly dude. He with you. You sold. Y'all can ride off in the sunset. You and your cockroach dude, y'all can ride off into the sunset because I get it. Some women love dudes that look like cockroaches because he's not outshining her in the looks department. He ain't getting no attention from nobody. Nobody don't want him but the roaches and you. So there you go. So he walk up, roaches be like, "Hey, daddy," that's
Hmm.
what you want. But that's the only dude you're gonna have the way you not a number. I hate to tell you that, but if you get a man of any type of substance and he's trying to do something with his life, and you be showing him and acting crazy and talking out the side of your neck, he gonna be out of there. He gonna be like, "Nah, man, I ain't gotta deal with that. I done had way
Yeah.
better than you. I done had way
Yeah.
better than you. I'm not gonna even and I ain't put up with their mess. And they ain't even give me no mess. And they look better than you. They was finer than you. They was more educated than you. They had more than you. They had their own. They had their own everything.
Yeah.
So and then they ain't have all that attitude. I'm dealing with this all that from you. No, man. No real man is gonna deal with that. Only a man who has a mangina is gonna put up with you disrespecting him. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You 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 you
Absolutely.
ain't you ain't got a man. You got a man with a mangina. You got you a stud. Yeah, he got a penis, but he's still a stud. He might as well be a stud too.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Well, most
It is
dudes are
what it
going.
is.
It's a lot of dudes who are going to accept that, especially today, Sean. Most
Right.
dudes are they're accepting that because, and I know you've seen it. I've seen it, especially when I look at black men. I'm walking around in my day to day life. I see a bunch of people, especially men, that are just existing. You can see it in their eyes. They got that glossed over, glazed look in their eye. They say what the cage lion look, the cage tiger look. You've been
Mm-hmm.
domesticated. You kind of just existing. You're not striving for anything. There's no purpose. There's no drive there. There's no demand for anything greater because it's going to be work. But you've been taught to man down. That's where our standards have lowered. For the longest time, we've been man down, man down, man down. But now it's like, well, we done man them down so much that now, they become pitiful excuses of what men used to be. So now, hey, y'all need to man up. It's time to man up. That's not how it works. It's only a few men who are going to be able to find their way and find that path. But for the most part, some of those guys, they're not looking to be anything else other than what they are because that's what they've been brought up to be. And unless they want to go internally, do the work, which is going to be a monumental task, it's one day at a time, but it's going to take everything in you and everything that you got to turn it around. You know, when I seeing these guys just existing, not demanding any excellence, they would any old woman looking any kind of way, treat him any kind of way, saying whatever they want to say to him. He's working a job that treats him any kind of way. He's just a cog in a machine. He's not demanding excellence in his life. He's not trying to achieve those things. And you can only you said this um feelings. They feel like they want to, Sean. They feel like, I want to be great. They feel like I want to do this. They feel like I want to be a high value man. I want to provide. I want to have a family one day. I want to provide. They feel like it, but those are just feelings. And then tomorrow the feeling changes. Like, nah, I'm good. I'll keep flipping burgers, or I'll keep working this warehouse job, driving forklifts, making 30, 35 grand or whatever, and then I'll be good. There's no thing, and because of that, now we have a a lack of excellence, man. You have a lack. of men who are out there going and grabbing life by the horns and going and get it. That's you came up, but you in your time, those men were all over the place. You can walk down the street and find a man like that. Men like my grandfather. You can find those men everywhere. Now that's a rare guy today, and it's sad to say that.
Yeah, that's true, man. You know, women think that men are upset because you know, because they want better. No, that's not why. That's not why. I'm not talking about the. I'm not talking about the powder puff boys. Real men are upset is because you know you man. This segment gonna be real long because women don't understand why real men are upset. I'm not talking about that powder puff boy that you walk over every day. I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about real men. Men are upset because some of you, because I cannot say all women, because there are some really good, intelligent, open-minded, fair women out here who sees or understands the climate of America. I'm not talking
Hold on
about
for me,
them.
Sean.
You all right?
But yeah, just keep talking. I got somebody at the
Okay.
door. You keep talking.
Yeah. So men are upset because some of you treat them like walking dicks and piggy banks. That's why. There's more to him than that. You know, um, that's that's one of the biggest things. Um, while men are upset. You know what I'm saying? So they're not upset because you want better. They're not upset because you have a standard. They're upset because of how you treat them. And a lot of you don't take the time. Some of you don't take the time to actually sit back and let that marinate in your mind a little bit.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's like I said in a post. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of men that can buy the hell out of you, but then have as much
What up, David?
respect for you, huh?
No, I'm saying what's up to David.
Yeah, there's a lot of men that can buy you this and just buy you the world, but have as much as respect for you as he does his baby toenail.
Yeah,
I mean, he's not gonna come out there and say it, but he's gonna move like that, and he's gonna do what he wants to do because he really don't have any respect for you, and he's not gonna tell you that. He
yeah,
knows what he's doing. He knows what he's paying his money on, and he knows what he's buying or whatever the case may be. For the moment in time that maybe he's got some time to kill. That's probably why he's buying you everything until you get tired of that. Then off with you and on to somebody else.
yeah, yeah.
It is what it is, man.
I mean, and because of this lack of standard, our image in the media, which is why we need black male media anyway. I talked about this before. Our image in the media, we've allowed other people to paint the narrative of who we are as men, and it a lot of that you can attribute it to the way our homes have been brought up. The father has been removed from the home. So it's very you have a generation of boys, especially black boys right now. It's going to be very, very tough for them because they were without their fathers. They weren't taught how to be a man. In order to be a man, you have to see a man, you know, and having your
Hmm.
dad in the home every day. You already, if you had your dad in the home with you every day and you came up with your father, you have a head start. It's sad to say that,
It's true
absolutely
though.
sad to say
It's
that,
true. It's
but
true,
it
man.
is true. It is
It's
true.
true.
It amazes me. It is true. Man, but what's your final thoughts, Sean? Because I gotta get back to class.
All right, man. Um, Listen, man. True alpha male fundamentals. I'm gonna read you guys something that I wrote. You never tolerate disrespect. You know your worth. Stand on your purpose. Make the hard decisions no matter how much that shit hurts. Other men's wives and girlfriends, be off that. Get control of your emotions, exercise, and always take care of your body first. That's self-love and care. Stay away from people who measures your worth based off money. Those are little girls. Know this, feel this, get this. Real women don't need you for your money. Only little girls do. That's on Gwen. That's my mom's word, not mine. Always be self-sufficient. Take your problems to the big man upstairs. He won't talk behind your back or throw things up your face. Never make moves based off your feelings, fellas. Fellas, never ever make moves based off feelings. That's a female move, because the clouds, that when you make moves based off your feelings, it clouds your common sense and improper judgments. Once you're a man making moves off feelings, you're automatically a bitch made ass type dude. So always never make move based off feelings. Make moves off of common sense and a sense of clarity. That is my final thought.
Absolutely. So, man, I mean, this is not an easy fix, but as far as you, the average everyday man, dude, all you got to do is prioritize yourself, set goals, and achieve them. Instead of laying out a plan and figuring out what you want to do, where you want to go, because what you need to do is prepare for the economic times we're going into. Understand that a dollar isn't a dollar anymore. A dollar is actually $2.50 now, and then before you know, it's going to be $5. Eggs is going to be out the yin yang. I saw a $14 gallon of orange juice on somewhere on Facebook, and I was like, that's absolutely insane. But it's a sign of what's to come. So
Right.
knowing that if you want a family today, for those guys who want family, they say it used to be $250,000 per kid to have raise a kid from 0 to 18. Now they estimating that that's going to $310,000, and it's only going to
E-
go up from there.
Easy. Hmm.
Easy. So what does that mean? You need to figure out what you're going to do right now.
Right.
Whatever it is you want to do, you just got to do it right now. And I'm telling you, if you're gonna put yourself through this, if you're gonna go out and achieve, because you could sit in your mom's basement with Cheeto dust on your fingers playing Xbox, you could do that. Nobody's gonna say anything except your mom. She gonna nag you to death. Other than that, you could do what you want to do. But if you want to go out and achieve and compete, it's going to be tough. It's going to be one of the toughest things you have done. So once you do that, do you think after you come out on the other end of that and you put yourself through all of this that you're going to accept anything less than what you want? You're going to have a standard for yourself. You going what it is you go do this and then you'll be able to call your own shot. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm setting myself up. I'm about to get ready to go back to class and wire this stuff up because I want to call my own shot. I want to be like, hey, I want this, and I want that. Yeah, I want that. You can go ahead somewhere else with that because I have options. Get out of your scarcity mindset. Get to a place where you have options, man. That's what it's all about. Life's about having
Right.
options. Sean got options, man. I'm telling you. I seen them. I'm just saying.
Why you got to put me out there like that, bro?
It's clear you got options, but I'm just letting them know I seen them. I seen them.
You crazy,
So,
man. You crazy,
yeah, but I
man.
appreciate everybody for tuning in. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on all my social medias. Follow Sean on his social media, tailor made for you training, driven out motivated 21, all that good stuff. FINP, for imperfect non-judgmental people. I appreciate everyone, and I will be back with more videos. But until next time, I'll talk to you guys later, man.